Hey, great day, great day. So I'm gonna just jump right into it. My name is Antwon. Um, I was born and raised in the South Florida area, and or Miami. You guys probably know better off. But this video, I totally want to just use this space and time to speak from my heart, speak from where I'm at as of this present moment, in connection to the Meta-Center and how everything played out from the time that I got into contact with the Meta-Center and also where we at right now. So this video, I don't know how long it's going to be, and I honestly can say some parts might not come out in order how they happen. I'm just going to kind of just speak. And as I was kind of meditating on this video, which I kind of should have did since yesterday, I just been meditating on just being able to put it all up, because it's so much that I really truly want to speak on, because it was so much that took place. And yeah, so to begin, I first want to begin with the understanding of how I got here today and how I connected with the Meta-Center. And so no, first I want to begin, honestly, I want to begin this with appreciation to Dr. Debbie Blair and also Tony on the Vortex. I never met Blair in person, but I've met Tony on several occasions. I flew to Chicago. We had many conversations, and this is a true brother for the community. He's true to himself, and he's the real deal. He's the real deal, and I'm going to speak a little bit about that as well. But I kind of want to make this about myself, because it is about me and what I went through, and my experience. And if this video gets out and it touches someone, I'm grateful for that. And may it do touch those that need to hear this, because I know sometimes as men, we don't always speak about things. We don't want to go into certain spaces and stuff like that. And for those who don't even know the Meta-Center or Tony, you might be watching this video for the first time, wondering if you should join the community, I would say, then yeah. So first thing I want to talk about is so just kind of get straight into it. Like I said, I was born and raised in South Florida area. I ended up getting married to the children, my children's mother. Her name is the name doesn't really matter, but I got married at a very young age. Some might say, 21, and at that time, I would say I was under the Christian belief, and I can honestly say that at that time, I was lost, totally lost. But I wasn't aware that I was lost. I wasn't aware that I wasn't aware of nothing. I wasn't aware of nothing that pertains to truth and things that actually are taking place now, and whatnot. So with that being said, so I got married to a young lady at the age of 21, and she was so-called my high school sweetheart. We've been dating since we was in high school, and we got married. Now, honestly, we got married on, now that I can be honest and accept the truth about it, we got married on some faulty terms, right? I didn't know exactly who I was, what I actually wanted as a man, and things like that. Yeah, and this is coming from a guy who has a father. My father was there. My mom did die when I was 1 year old, so that took a major toll on me as well growing up. and it also is part of my journey and why I'm here today. But yeah, so my mom died when I was 1 year old. My father got married to my stepmother, and they was married for like 17 years. So my whole life, I've had parents, both male and female parents, and I can honestly say I didn't grow up in poverty. I didn't grow up lacking. I didn't grow up without anything. Like literally, I was somewhat sheltered, if that's a better word to use. I was somewhat sheltered, and yeah. So I got married, and lo and behold, as I know now, I know why now that I was like, not operating the way I should have been, not I wasn't in control of my own life, I would say. I wasn't even aware that I was not in control of my life, and that others was able to make influences on me and make decisions for me and things like that. But so we got married, and honestly, the marriage didn't last but 3 months. 3 months. Now, before we got married, just being with her, everything seemed to be cool. We was dating, things was good. We would go out, have fun, and things like that. But as soon as we got married, things just kind of just went downhill, I would say. And for me, this is kind of why I want to highlight things, because this is really where things truly began for me. And I say truly began because this is when my world began to really, really being shook up or shaken. Right. So I also want to just bring this to you guys' attention really quick. So I did just come back from Chicago. I know you guys probably know they had the 11/11, the grand opening at 11:11 a.m. And as I was there talking to the brother, he did of me, and he did recommend the turmeric honey, right, which I am taking now. And he also recommended this herb for me. Oh, snap. Cincha loose leaf tea, right? And the only reason why I'm really mentioning that right now is because I'm drinking it right now. Because I think that's very important to mention that how the Meta-Center has been there to help me, right? Because I'm going to get into some stuff. So back to the marriage thing. The marriage didn't last long, maybe 3 months, and within that time, the confusion for me immediately started, and that was because my wife at the time, she left. She left me with the two girls, our two children, and she went along with another guy. And honestly, that broke me. It tremendously it broke me. Like, right? I don't know why I'm trying to think of all these fanciful words and all this stuff, but I just want to be honest and direct with you guys. But it broke me. Literally, I was like distraught. I was crying. I was hurt. My heart was broken. I was getting headaches because I just kept crying, and I just couldn't think clear. I was just totally dumbfounded about what took place. My whole world was shaking, and like I also realized like how empty I had felt. Like going back on that time, I realized how empty I had felt. I had felt so empty. I had felt like I didn't exist. I felt as if like I was nothing. Especially for her, I felt like she had really ripping my heart out my chest, and she was walking on it. And it really hurt me. It really broke me. And and like I said, at the time, I was going through my Christian faith, and I immediately started praying. I started praying. I'm talking about praying over and over and stuff. And now I can honestly say, like, I was praying for her to come back. And even now, I kind of laugh at myself because, like, and I don't want to make this video about shunning Christianity or any other religion or anything like that. but I do want to bring up some key points to where I was at that time and where I'm at now. Because at that time, honestly, I was like praying for her to come back. I was like willing to forgive her what she had did, right? Like she was literally, she moved in with another guy. So I was just so such of a people pleaser, I would say, to where I literally wanted to just take her back, and I was like willing to put it behind us if she was willing to come back home. And I remember just feeling so weak, so soft, and like just everything was just not going the way I wanted it to, right? Because seeing that my daddy got married at 21 years old, and he was a good guy. He is a good guy, and he held his marriage down, raised his children, always worked. Very very good guy. My dad's a very good guy, but it didn't work for me. And so with that being said, life, I would say life for me began at that point. I would say at that point life began for me, because that's when I really began to ask the deep questions, and I really wanted to find out what was really going on with stuff, because I felt pulled in many different ways. And also the most important part about that was no one seemed to be able to help me. Right. So the first thing I was doing, like I said, I was praying. I was praying a lot. And then I also went to church to get like help and stuff. Like, just honestly, I didn't felt like I got any help. Now, when I look back at it, I guess the pastor was kind of, pushing towards like not being direct, right? And just upfront telling me what it is, or whatnot. And I think that doesn't work for everybody, right? It may work for some people, but for me, that didn't work, because it's like I would go sit down and have a conversation with the pastor, and after that conversation, I would leave feeling even lost. Like, not saying that he was supposed to like help me find myself immediately, right? But there was no tangible things that he gave me to do that will actually help me to rectify the situation, get myself right. It was nothing. It was absolutely nothing. And so with that being said, I still was trying to get her back. I still was trying to figure stuff out with myself as well, because I had a job at the time, and even with my job, I had just stopped going to work. To where like I ended up just quitting, kind of. I wouldn't even say I got fired. I just kind of quit. And it's even funny to think about it now, because like I have meditated on this in plenty of times, but even like just speaking about it, it still just brings up things, and it's like, wow, it's interesting. But so I just stopped going to work. And so what I want to point out is, like, I was weak and soft. And honestly, like, it was just crazy, because like, being surrounded by family, right? Because and I want to point this out as well. Like, I have what you call a family, like a real family. Like I said, mom, dad. I have siblings. They're pretty much somewhat all financially stable, somewhat mentally stable. Let's just say that they are doing they're doing good, I would say, right? Especially when we talk about like just the mundane things of having a job, having a home, and things like that. When it comes to those things, my family is very good in that area. So it kind of like draws me to the question where it's like, nobody can help me though. Nobody can help me, and honestly, things immediately started to get very, very worse. at that point, things definitely started spiraling down for me. So yeah, the next thing that really turned for me is not going to work. I didn't have the energy or any willpower or anything to get up and go to work and continue my life without her. I was like solely invested into her, and yeah, I was solely invested into that marriage, into her, to where I was empty. I was nothing, and it played out as such. And I'm grateful for that playing out now that I know better now, because it was a major turning point for me. But so what ended up happening is I slowly but surely end up partaking in drugs. So I was smoking weed and stuff like that, but I want to talk specifically about drugs that I was taking. It was just one drug, but it was Molly, right? And at the time, this was like maybe 5 years ago. Maybe 5 years ago. No, 7 years ago. Today being the 2023, the 13th of November. This was 7 years ago in 2016. So yeah, at the time I started doing Molly's. And what Molly's is, if you guys don't know, Molly is considered like MDMA, right? And it's like some type of pill form thing, drug, if you will, that's made some type of in some type of laboratory by some scientists or whatever, and it basically gives you like some form of a euphoric feeling, and I would say it raises your sexual level. It's like a dating sex drug type thing. So and I'm bringing this up because like at that time, mind you now, I was in my Christian faith and I was going to church every Sunday, like literally praying. I was going to Wednesday services. Like I was committed in the church. Like I was committed, right? I was committed. I was even trying to grow in the church, like someday be a pastor or a deacon or something of that effect. And like truly, I really wanted to do that. So yeah, I started smoking Molly's, and literally I started going downhill fast. Like anybody can imagine, when you start partaking in a drug and you're not going to work, you're not taking on your daily responsibilities. You can imagine how fast life can change for you. So I started smoking, and so I kind of want to bring up something because I kind of missed this point. So at this time, like I mentioned earlier in the video, my mom had died in a car accident when I was 1 year old. To make it really simple for you guys, because I don't want to make it about whatever. My mom died in a car accident, and my father filed a lawsuit, and we won the lawsuit, which I was awarded. Me and my sister from my mom, we both was rewarded maybe. So my father, being a good guy as he is, he was still raising me, right? So what he did was, with the lawsuit money, he set it up to where me and my sister didn't get the money until we turned 18 years old, which I thought was amazing, right? He was like, nah, don't give him the money right now. I'll just take care of everything. And when they turn 18, that they'll get the money, and it'll go on their name and things of that nature. So me and my sister, when I turned 18 years old, I ended up getting a portion of the money. So it was broke down into like, so I turned 18 years old, and I ended up starting getting these checks for $30,000. So you can imagine being 18 years old and having $30,000 just given to you at one time on your birthday, how that played a role in my life. So I ended up partaking in college. I went to college at FAMU in Tallahassee, Florida. And like I said, the video, I probably should have did a little timelines, but just stay with me if you can. So I ended up in 2010, I went to college at FAMU, and I was only there for like 3 months. So I got into a very bad car accident, and which now my first cousin, he's paralyzed neck down. I broke my jaw in 5 different places. I had to get wires and et cetera in my mouth, and it was a traumatic experience. But yeah, so let's get back to the I wanted to bring it up for a very important part. So yes, I got into the car accident, and so I was getting checks, and that's how I was able to fund myself in college and whatnot. So I was getting this money and things of that nature, and he was offering me a job at 18 years old versus me trying to go like to college and whatnot. My dad had already been on the county for 20 years, and he was telling me and my brother that you guys just come on to the county and start working. This job will help you build stability for yourself and your family and things like that. For whatever reason, I didn't want to do that. I truly didn't want to do that. I knew that I wanted to do something totally different. And so I did it. I was like, I want to go to college. And I think about it now, most part, I really just kind of wanted to get away. Like, it was really like a cry to get away. I really just wanted to get away from home, from family, I guess you could say. And because like I said, also being in shelter is not always good, because I wasn't making my own decisions, right? A lot of decisions was being made for me. And, that played a major role into why when things transpired, I couldn't make any decisions that will help me, at least. Because I did definitely make decisions and choices, but I didn't make those. Well, I can't say I didn't make decisions and choices that would help me, because otherwise I wouldn't have met the Meta-Center, right? So I guess at some point within myself, I was putting myself through hurt and suffering, but at the same time, I was trying to help myself. So, anyways, yeah. So I started smoking mollies, and I got very addicted to it because obviously I wasn't doing anything positive. I wasn't occupying myself with anything, and honestly, no one was there to help me. No one was there to truly help me. And like I said, I truly had I had a church home. I have parents, like I have aunties and uncles. They all are there, and nobody can truly was able to help me. And at that time, I felt really lost, because it was like, how you guys can't help me, but you guys seem to be able to go to church every Sunday, pay your bills, and take care of stuff. How is it that you guys can't help me? How is it that you guys can do nothing for me, honestly? Like, nothing in the aspect that I needed, I would say. So, yeah, I ended up going to the drugs area really, really bad. And, okay, so the point I wanted to make about the accident, my mom died, and also with me getting the checks. So I started getting the money, and so when I got married at 21 years old, I had just got a new check for my birthday. So I got married in April of, I want to say April of 2016, I want to say. And so I bought a house. I got married to the young lady. We had our first child, and at the time we were staying in a 1-bedroom apartment. So we were staying in a 1-bedroom apartment. We had our own little space and whatnot. I had a little, like, a car too, and I wasn't really working so much. I wasn't really working so much at the time. I was just kind of like just whatever, just going through the motions and stuff like that. I was kind of like stuck in my ego, because like I kind of thought I was the man and things like that. And didn't have to work and didn't have to take on any responsibilities and whatnot. But yeah, that was script for me very fast, right? But so what I want to point out is So also side note, right? In 2023, this is my like I was saying, I was addicted to Molly's. I ended up going to a drug program and everything. So like I said, I'm kind of bouncing all over the place, but I kind of just want to give you guys a good timeline of what's taking place and to correspondence to today. So right now I am 4 days sober from weed, right? Marijuana. Yes, I did stop smoking Molly's, but I'm gonna get back to that. And yes, I never went back to it once I had stopped in its totality. So I'll get to that in a second. But so yeah, I went through my addiction, and it's a little bit uncomfortable, right? A little bit uncomfortable conversation at times, just speaking about this stuff, because it's still fresh, I guess, right? And even yesterday, I was talking about this. Thinking about it, meditating on it and stuff like that, it kind of brought some tears to my eyes and things like that, because it is a heavy conversation. So yeah, yes. So where was I? Me and my wife, we basically, she had left, and like I said, I was just trying to just like go harder and harder into the drugs, and just it was a coping thing, like. I was still begging her to come back and trying to get her to come back and things like that while I was sitting there just smoking Molly's. But what actually took place though was I started to becoming more aware of things I didn't have. I didn't have answers to a lot of questions about who am I and what am I doing and what should I be doing or things like that. So, yeah, I remember just kind of going through the motions every day, just smoking weed, doing different stuff. So yeah, I ended up going to the drugs really bad, really fast. Okay, so the point I wanted to make was I had just bought a house. Mind you, now we were staying in a one-bedroom apartment, and I was staying there for like 2 years. And so happened that the landlord ended up getting sick. It was a private-owned property, and he ended up getting sick or whatnot. And I'm not saying that he's good, he got sick, but I'm saying that I didn't have to pay rent. The property got sold because he was sick. He ended up having to sell the property, and I ended up having to move out. So I ended up using So, like I said, I was getting every year on my birthday, right? So, at this time, it was like maybe a month or two before I was getting my next check, but I had to move out. And at the time, I was like, nah, you know what? I want to try to get a house or whatnot. And so what I did was I ended up buying what's like a R&V trailer home. Not the mobile trailer home, but the double wide homes that be at the RV parks, if you guys know what I'm talking about. So I ended up buying one of those for like, I want to say like 95% of my money. The house ended up coming to like $28,000 cash. And I ended up buying that house. And at that time, like I said, I ended up having to leave out. But right in the midst of that, my wife had left. So I was still trying to bring her back and trying to like get her on like, you know, think I could fix it or whatnot. So I was trying to get her back. So I ended up buying a house and putting both our names on the house. Just because I was trying to prove to her, like, you know, I didn't give up on her. I didn't give up on my family and things like that. But you know, she was not there. She was not into me, into the relationship and whatever. So I ended up buying this home and spent $28,000 for this home, right? And to try to like use it to get her back, but also to shelter myself and also my children. Because at this time I am having my second child. And it was so crazy because I had just paid $28,000 for this house. And honestly, like within 5 months, I lost the house. Within 5 months, I lost the house, $28,000 because of a lot fee. I had to pay a lot fee of $500 every month. And because, like I told you guys, I had to stop going to work. I couldn't afford to pay the $500 lot fee. So I lost my $28,000 within 5 months. And that's when shit really got real. Because at the time I was smoking Molly every day, and like I still had a little money left over from my check from my mom who was deceased, and like I said, I have family and stuff, so I would be able to like come up with a little money or do little jobs and certain stuff just to kind of like help myself out as I was kind of like going further downhill and whatnot. And so what took place was I ended up losing the house, and that began me being homeless. So at the time, I was still getting help. Family was still helping me out to some degree. And what happened was, at first I moved in with a friend of mine because he was on the drugs with me. So I moved in with a friend of mine or whatnot, and I was staying there with him. And I just remember like everything just kind of going downhill. Things started breaking, things started messing up. And at the time she had left with the children and everything, and I was still able to see my children and stuff, but I really was trying to like use the children to get back at her and just use everything to get back with her. I really was trying to get back with her. That's really where I was at, trying to get back with her. And I thought that was what I was supposed to be doing. I really thought that's what I was supposed to be doing because of the Christian faith. I kind of, I guess you could say, like, you know, for better, for worse, and things like that. And, you know, just coming up with the Christian faith is kind of like pushes you in a direction of just not giving up on things, and not, it also kind of like takes away your awareness. So I kind of was like dumbfounded. I was blind. I was blind, like literally blind, because I was just like, you know, lost in the sauce or whatever. And so I moved in with a friend. Me and him was still on the drugs and whatnot. But what I do want to point out was, like, although things was going very bad for me physically, I started asking myself questions like about who am I and why am I so weak? Why was it that when she left me, she broke me? Why did that happen when I was going to church every Sunday praying to God, and I really thought that every Sunday I was getting some type of strength from the source, and I was connected to source, and I just really didn't think I was like that lost. Like, I really didn't think I was that lost to like her leaving me, and it really showed me like I was lost as hell. And I was weak. I kind of want to keep repeating it because it's just true. And so things kind of just went head to head with that, to where I ended up a lot of things transpired to where the next major thing I want to talk about is like my drug addiction. It went really, really bad, where I was homeless, and a lot of times I literally was just wanted to be outside in the streets smoking mollies. But one of the things that I want to talk about was, like, with asking these questions and stuff, me and my friend, we would start watching YouTube videos and things like that about just like, it was more of like African power, pro-black, how we are being controlled by the government, and that the Christianity is false, and all these religions are just making you dumb and making you soft and things like that. So I started looking to these things and just was like, hey, what can I lose? Because I already don't got nothing. I already don't know who I am or what am I doing. So why does it matter if I just start, doing what people would call like devilish at the time? Because I would start studying about anything. I would just start looking into all kinds of information and stuff. And at the time, I came across and a couple other brothers and stuff, but I truly want to speak about Dumb Two for instance for a little short period of time, because I guess you could say they was I was putting my energy into their directions, because I was literally watching their videos for hours and hours, just smoking mollies, watching videos, just trying to get any information that will kind of bring some ease to the pain. You know what I'm saying? Anything that can ease the pain, I was trying to do. And so I was just trying to like numb myself because I was really in pain. My heart was broken, like I said. And I started watching these videos and things like that while I was homeless and whatnot. And just I could say honestly about watching those guys' video, it did inspire me in some way. I can honestly say that it did inspire me in some way because I never met like a black who had read like hundreds of books and things like that, and who had studied things like who have actually studied religion, versus everybody who I was around was like, that's the only way. You got to go that way, and that's what it is. Don't ask any questions about it. Even when things get hard and stuff, just pray more. Just continue to just have your faith in Jesus Christ, and that He's going to save you. No matter what you thinking, like you're going to be saved. And honestly, like I started to really just start asking myself honestly, like, am I going to be saved? Like, or am I going to hell? You know what I'm saying? So I started thinking about like negative stuff or whatever you want to call it. And like, damn, am I going to hell? You know, am I going to die soon? Where am I going to go? How things are going to happen for me? So I just wanted to help myself. I really just was lost and I wanted to help myself. So I was watching these brother videos, and a lot of times they would speak about Christianity and different stuff and how it just was like, you know, bullshit. And at that time, it was very hard for me to even listen to their videos because like I was very much programmed, indoctrinated when it came to the Christian faith, and just never believing that the Christian thing was wrong in any aspect, that it was just perfect the way it is. Everything is perfect, and it's all you had to do was just stay into the Christian faith, and you was going to have a perfect, beautiful life, and then you was going to just die and go to heaven, and that was it. But I started to really just ask the questions to myself, and honestly, like I said, growing up in a Christian home, even when I was younger, I would really just be like, I don't get this stuff. I don't get it. It don't make sense. It don't fit me. But I was kind of like into it by my parents. My mom, I would say. My dad never went to church. My dad was not Christian at all. My dad didn't have no beliefs in any thing except for himself. And I guess that was just something that took place with him. But my stepmom, she would always take us to church, and I had to practice that religion at the time. And so many things took place to where I just started questioning that religion very, very hard. But I would say I started questioning it with an open heart, though. And the reason why I want to bring this to attention, because like now that I know where I'm at now, I can honestly say that in some way, the Christian faith, it closes down the heart space. And I know some of you guys probably like, nah, but I'm telling you, like, it does. It does, because it doesn't allow you to truly open your heart chakra and be honest with yourself, because it's literally telling you to lie to yourself about so much different stuff. But whatever. So honestly, right now I just want to kind of take a little break. It's kind of a lot. My body is tired right now. I'm constantly on this uphill battle. Like I said, I'm just 4 days free of smoking marijuana. So my body is going through somewhat of withdrawals and whatnot. And that's part of the reason why Tony had told me to get this, right, to help build up my body and things of that nature. So I started asking all the different questions and stuff, but at the same time, I still was going down very, very fast physically, to where my physical appearance had started getting very, very dark. I couldn't recognize myself. I didn't know who I was and where I was going and things like that. And it really didn't matter to me, because all I knew was something is not right. I that's one thing that I just knew. Something is not right. And honestly, dog, it just literally just it's so crazy because I just stuck with that, and I was like, yeah, something's not right. And I held on to that long enough to I was able to try to find out what is it exactly, what is not right, what and why am I feeling this deep down in myself that something is just not right. And I don't want no parts of the not right anymore. So it's kind of a long video, right? But so like, hopefully Tony cut this up in some kind of way. But whatever. It's just beautiful to be able to talk about this, and I just want to say I'm thankful and grateful again, because like this is also like my testimony to where I'm at and how things are going. And I want to make this clear to you guys, like just because I'm not addicted to drugs anymore, and things have gotten better, that doesn't mean that everything is great. But it does mean that I'm not the same. I'm not in the same space, and I definitely won't go through those things again, right? And I can guarantee that now, because of what I've experienced and also what I've been able to go through and learn by dealing with the Meta-Center and Tony. So yeah, I went to addiction very, very bad, and it ended up led me to a actual addiction to where my family put me into a program, right? So I'm grateful for my sister, right? My second biggest sister, she went forward to put me in a program. But I want to point out to where, like, and it's no shade on my parents or anything like that, but my parents wasn't willing to put me in a program or help me out. They just was kind of like really more so in like, I just hope he just get better and things just get better, and not really intervening in my life to actually talk to me and see what's going on with me so I can actually try to get help from them. So yeah, my parents, they didn't really know how to help me, I guess. And so they was more so just like taking the back seat to just hoping, I guess, more so hoping that life would just get better for me without them having to actually put in the work to help me out. And it's like I said, there's no shade against my parents. I love them. I still have them today. I still love them unconditionally. And yes, we do have an amazing relationship as of today. And at the time we did too. I can't say it was a bad relationship. They just couldn't really help me, right? But I can't say they couldn't help me, because I did get help, right? I was put into a program because at that time I couldn't do it myself. Like I couldn't. It was sometimes where I would want to admit myself into like getting help into like some in-house drug facility or outpatient drug facility at times. But it was like, as soon as I got that next hit or fix, I was back in the streets. I was back into the world where I was like, it don't really matter. It don't really matter. But I would say I honestly was still meditating and praying within myself, like it's going to get better. I had a little spark inside of myself that it was like, it's going to get better. Like it was very small, but it was there. And it was like, things are going to get better. You just got to pull yourself out of this. And for me, like I said, I was praying so much, and also I kind of honestly was looking at like my Christian family and was like, where's Jesus? Like, really, where is Jesus? Like, I felt like I committed, like, at the time, more than half of my life to this entity that I never personally met physically, or didn't feel like he saved me spiritually either. And I was literally had my faith, and I was putting everything in that, and nothing really came about from it. And I kind of was looking at my family too, like, you guys are in this Christian faith and stuff, but you guys don't seem to really have what it takes to really help someone in certain spaces. Like, and it also brought to my attention, like, a lot of churches, they don't want to help people, or they can't really help people when it comes to like really trying to find themselves, because the Christian faith is not there to really help you find yourself and empower you and things like that. It's more so there for you to give away your energy and just have some some belief in this character that things is going to be okay, and all you got to do is repent and just pray and all that stuff. Like, and it was just literally just getting on my nerves, right? I'm sorry to curse, but let's be honest, it was getting on my nerves. I was tired of it. I was tired of hearing it. And at that point, I was ready to challenge it. Like, I was like, bro, what are y'all talking about, bro? I don't got time for this stuff, bro. Y'all can't help me, bro. And so, like I said, I began to read many things, doing all kind of research and stuff. So my sister ended up putting me into a program. And like I said, I was willing. I was willing to help myself because honestly, even if your parents are putting in a program, it's very hard for your family to actually help you. And that pretty much sucks as well when it comes to like drugs and helping your family. The person kind of got to want to help themselves, which is always the case anyways. It should be the case. The person truly got to help themselves because even if you force someone into a program, they probably going to leave or don't actually receive anything. But I was willing to help myself, so I went forth with the program. And so I went to the program and I stayed there for like 8 months. And like I said, as I was getting to the program, I started reading books. I started getting more spirituality, more into what's called chaos energy and philosophies and all type of different stuff. And so while I was in the program, like I said, I was willing. So I actually took on the responsibility of trying to help myself, and I did. I actually did a full recovery within the 8 months. And but within that time, I went really hard into spirituality, I would say, right? More so into like my purpose. Who am I? Right? Like not just Antwon. At the time I was like 25, something like that. So not just those things, but really, who am I? What am I? And what could I be doing? And things like that. So I started just like going all over the place to different YouTube videos, and I was getting recommended by certain videos of certain people and stuff like that. So I ended up coming in contact with the Meta-Center, and I want to say like in 2016. No, I'm sorry, in 2018. In 2018, I was admitted. In 2018 in February, I was admitted into the in-house addiction drug program, which was called New Directions, right? It was called New Directions. So I went into New Directions, and like I said, I was there for 8 months and a half. And like I said, I went into there, I was homeless. I lost my house. My wife, she left me, but she did not divorce me, which was very strange, very, 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 very strange, because she didn't divorce me, but she didn't want to be with me. And she had got into a whole other relationship and everything. Like, she was totally done with me, but she didn't want to divorce me. And in some way, I didn't want her to divorce me either, because me being, like being raised into the family figure, and also just this marriage ideal of way of living and stuff. And I'm not here to downplay anything about marriage or anything about the true understanding about the Bible and these texts, because it's much deeper than we want to put it, right? So I started recovering, right? Of course, I was in the program, so I couldn't do any drugs, no marijuana, no weed, no drinking, anything, right? I literally was on like lockdown. I could say I was somewhat incarcerated, because you couldn't just leave. Like, you had the choice to leave, but you would go to jail if you was court ordered. So you couldn't leave, right? So I had to stay there. And like I said, also, I was willing to help myself, right? I wasn't going to admit myself, but if someone was in the background, like my sister, like, and I think about it now, because the power of the mind is so real. At the time, I didn't know the power of the mind, but at the time, I was saying to myself, like, man, my family need to just have somebody to come pick me up so I could just go get the help. They know I need the goddamn help. Just have somebody pick me up, and I'm going to get the help. Stop thinking I'm going to just go admit myself and get the help. No, I actually still want to be on the streets and shit at the same damn time, because some part of the night, not taking on your responsibility felt good too, right? Let's be honest. Like some part of that, it feels good. Like I don't have no responsibility. I don't have to do anything. I don't owe anybody anything. Like, and of course, like it felt good because it was wrong. It felt good because it was wrong. It was like taking me far away from my true self, right? And so I went through the program and things like that. And like I said, my wife didn't want to divorce me. So like I said, at the time, I was still happy because I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna recover. I'm gonna get myself right, and I'm gonna get my family back, and I'm gonna just get my life back on track. And guess what? This was just something that just took place, and we just moved forward, right? That was my intent. But like I said, my wife, she didn't want to get back with me, but she didn't want to divorce me. So I was kind of puzzled to like, do I divorce her? But like I didn't want to. But seeing she didn't want to be with me, I was like, damn, I kind of got to get some balls. So going through that, I started just like focus more on myself. I started gaining my weight back because at the time I ended up going down to like, so I was in high school. I played football in high school. In high school, I was a linebacker. I weighed 190 pounds. I was a beast. I made all day in Miami, Florida, which is a very, very competitive state. And I made all day in 2010. So I was really good. And so the point of this is to point out the size I was. I was like 5'10", 180, 190 pounds and whatnot. And I am losing like 60 pounds. Right, like I said, I was really dark. I was smoking a lot of drugs and stuff like that. I was living outside, taking showers outside, sleeping where I could, and just really just going through the motions, right? And so what took place was I started getting better and better during the program, you know, because they actually feed you good. They put you on a regimen. You got to do certain stuff, and I started getting into like meditations and stuff like that. And into like different stuff. So I started practicing meditations and different stuff. And like I said, I ended up getting in contact with the Meta-Center. And I would just sit back and watch videos. And I remember like watching Dr. Blair videos, and he would be talking about like just hearing his voice and hearing him talk about metaphysics. And I think it was the metaphysics talks that really, really got to me. And also like the talk about contacting other entities, and also like him talking about he was I want to say like a pastor or a preacher at some point in time, but he ended up like transitioning to just into his spiritual journey. I want to say I don't want to like change his words of anything, but that's kind of how I took it, where he was like a pastor or something, but he realized like that wasn't the true route for those individuals that really wanted to be truly connected to source. It was a better route. And so I remember just listening to his videos and stuff like that. And I remember him just talking about different stuff, and him not having any biases, him not being prejudiced, or just not leaning more to one aspect than the other, just present information and knowledge and stuff. And it literally did something to me to where I just started awakening certain things in myself. And I was like, hey man, I'm going to start taking on this spiritual journey, because I feel like on the Christian journey, my soul wasn't being fed, right? I wasn't being fed. And at the time I didn't know what that meant, but my spirit was telling me that like, you're not being fed. You're not getting what you came here in this lifetime to do. And we need to get you on some point to where you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing and stuff like that. So in the program, like I said, things started getting better for me. I ended up getting a job. I ended up getting sober. I ended up getting insurance, getting my body checked out, my blood work, seeing that everything was good, right? And so I started to like think that, okay, damn, I do have a life to go forth with, and I can live my life and things like that. And so I ended up, like I said, going through the program. I ended up getting some money, getting jobs. The program truly did help me out because I did work the program. I truly did put in the effort to help myself. So when I left the program, I had a couple $1,000s. I had a place to stay. The rent was paid 3 months in advance by another program. I ended up being able to get out, have a job, and I also was into college again at Miami-Dade College. I was getting financial aid. I'm talking about 180-degree turnaround, like literally. So with all that, I started getting some strength and my own power and whatnot to continue on my life, because life had to continue going. And I remember just watching guys and whatnot. And at this time, I'm seeing that I'm about to be released from the program. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to be a free guy. It's time to go meet up with some of these people and see, like, if we can build a relationship in the physical world and things like that. So I remember trying to reach out to see, but at the time, I started seeing that he didn't really have any, like, events at the time. Like, before that, he was doing lectures and stuff like that. But at that time, like 2018, he wasn't really doing any events and stuff like that. And same for, he didn't have any events for me to go to. So I ended up connecting to a brother called, his name is, and I'm honestly say he's a very, let's just keep it like that for now, right? And so with that being said, he was one of the individuals that actually had a class coming up that I was able to attend, because like I said, I was making a transition from my Christian faith into just get more into my spiritual practices and stuff like that. And so I was like, I need to go meet up with one of these guys that's calling themselves masters and or healers and yogi masters and all this stuff, right? Reiki masters and stuff. So I was like, hold on, I need to get in contact with these guys, because these guys know about a different way of living and getting power and different stuff that, hey, other people don't even know about, and Christians don't know about either. And man, these guys talking like this, I need to go find out the truth so I could be able to get this information and bring it back to my peoples and stuff like that. And so I ended up getting out of the program, like I said, and start my journey and whatnot. And I ended up flying out to North Carolina and meeting up with, and honestly, I can say it was an amazing class. I'm not going to lie and say that it wasn't. It was an amazing class. He talked to me about health, vegan diets, pescatarian diets, eating a certain way, because at the time I started to get more into like eating foods that raise your vibration, foods that help your body, and also just stop eating fast foods, stop drinking sodas and things like that. So I stopped doing those type of things and whatnot. Well, I actually did kind of stop, right? I truly did stop doing those things, and so you can say I was on my way. I was on my path, and like I said, so I ended up like reaching out to different people because I wanted to come in contact with people in person and just connect to their communities and stuff, because I thought it was amazing that these people had found a life outside of Christianity and they was making a way and things like that. And I don't want to make it solely about Christianity, but I'm just speaking about, for me, that was what I was into and all I knew. And so like I said, I was going to college at the time. So I remember calling the Meta-Center, right? So this is kind of like where things really began with my connection with the Meta-Center. So I remember calling the Meta-Center, and I remember expecting to hear Dr. David Blair. And at the time, like I said, I watched his videos, but I didn't know he had made a transition in 2016 at the time, and this is like 2018 of October, November. First time I called the Meta-Center. So I called the Meta-Center and things like that. Like I said, I was calling out around the place, around the world and stuff. So I remember like getting on the phone with who was Tony, but at the time I thought it was Blair. I was like, hey, Dr. Blair? And he was like, no, this is Tony. And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to meet Dr. Blair, the Meta-Center and whatnot. I was trying to see, I see you guys have all these herbs and this website and stuff like that. And I was just seeing how can I come out and connect with you guys. I just need a family. You know what I'm saying? A home. I was trying to find a family in a home and things like that. I was still trying to find myself, right? So what happened was, I kind of remember this conversation like almost word for word because it literally changed my life. It literally changed my life. So me and the brother had a conversation, and the conversation kind of went like this. Hey, man, I'm trying to come see Dr. Deborah Blair. And then this guy's talking about some stuff that is very interesting. I just need to get into his presence. And so he made me aware that Blair had just made a transition and whatnot, and that was kind of very shocking for me. I mean, honestly, at the time at my home, I had pictures of Blair in my home because she was like a role model, right? So anybody know anything about role models? Somebody who was like, because like the blue eye Jesus thing wasn't working for me at that time anymore. Like literally, I was done. And so I had pictures of Blair on my wall, literally Blair, pictures of shit he was talking about and things like that. So I was really trying to meet up with this brother, and rest in peace, Blair. But yeah, so me and Tony was talking on the phone, and he immediately told me like, yeah, so we having an event coming up. Like I said, we was talking in 2018 near November, December time when I got released from the program. And no, I take that back. I was talking to him in February of 2019, and he made me aware of an event that was going to take place on 4/11, right? April 11th. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'm coming. And I was like, how much is it? And I remember talking to him, and I remember like kind of having this notion that, these guys was going to be a little bit weird because they were spiritual, and, I was still kind of Christian, and, they was somewhat better than me and things like that. And also like, because I seen these guys as masters and stuff, I also was like, dang, I know I'm going to have to spend a lot of money to go to these events and stuff, right? But I ended up going out to the event and whatnot, and the event was very, I guess you can kind of say inexpensive versus some of the events I had looked up, right? Some people events was like $500 to $1,000. Some was even $1,500 for a single event that was lasting maybe 3 hours and stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna go where I can afford, of course, to more inexpensive things. So I ended up flying out to Chicago. Well, back to the conversation. We was talking, and the brother just insisted, like, hey, man, just come out to the event. Just come out. Don't come with any expectations or anything. Just come out to the event and just see what we can do. And the first event that I went to was the Superhuman 4. Superhuman class number 4, and whatnot, something like that. And so as I went through that class with him, I remember just everything leading up to that time, like everything just went smooth, right? Into comparison of me trying to link up with other people, these guys didn't really have anything for you to come to at the time. And so I went out to Chicago. Me and a friend of mine went out to Chicago, and we had an amazing time at this event. And I remember just coming to connection with the Meta-Center, and I started just taking these herbs. They was talking about these herbs that can help you. And like I was saying, I just ended up going through my addiction and whatnot. So I remember him talking about monatomic gold, and it raising your vibration and opening your first or third eye and things like that. I'm talking about it was just like so fascinating and phenomenal, that things he was talking about, and I was able to actually go get these things and try them out. So I was like getting all the herbs and all the different stuff and trying different stuff out, and just really became on board to supporting the Meta-Center because I just love what they had presented. So I ended up going into the event, like I mentioned, and the event went great and stuff. And even after the event, I came back home, and like things just started changing, right? Because I actually came in contact with a true energy that, you know, now that I know that wasn't there for any agenda, right? The Meta-Center doesn't have any agenda, folks. And I truly mean that when I say that. They don't have any agenda as far as in like trying to get your money, any agenda, and just trying to, you know, build their own ego up and make themselves look like something that they're not, and just truly robbing people of their life, because that's what's really taking place when people are not truly leading you into a real space of you know, of source, right? And they're not leading to a true space of source. More than likely, you know what I'm saying? 10 out of 10, they're taking you into some dark place, right? So I went to this event, and guys, give me a break, because give me a second, because I'm kind of like having to take deep breaths. Like I said, I'm still going through withdrawals and stuff, and I actually was smoking a lot of weed up until now, and yeah. So a part of the reason why I'm starting smoking weed right now is because I also wanted to stop for myself, but also because I'm going towards a job. Same job that my dad was trying to get me to go into at 18 years old. I'm 31 years old now. That same job is on the table. And so now I'm going sober to go forth with the job, right? So so yeah, that's the reason why I'm going sober. And I want to also say thank you to the Meta-Center, because, like I said, they're truly helping me out with whatever I need help with. They're there, and I mean that whatever I need help with, they're truly there. And so yeah, I'm getting a little bit tired. But yeah, I'm gonna push through this because it's very important that I present this. I really need to get this out of me and just talk about it for once and for all. You know. So yeah, I ended up getting in contact with the Meta-Center, taking different stuff, doing different stuff with the Meta-Center, and at the time, I started back smoking weed. Even though I was with the Meta-Center, I still was smoking weed and stuff like that. And I remember just like being around Tony and the classes and stuff, and conversating with him. The brother just always kept it real. Like it was never a time where I could look back and be like, he was sugarcoating it, and he was just telling me what I wanted to hear. Like that just never was the case. And even now in 2023, he still don't do that. He still don't just tell me what I want to hear and stuff like that. And that's why I truly appreciate it, because that's BS. We don't need to just have people telling us what we want to hear, and or just people sitting back watching us make, you know, bad decisions over and over when they possibly can help us not make bad decisions and stuff. Like, and, you know, like I said, I've had parents, and I have a whole family that was around me, and, you know, for the most part, no one really intervened the way the Meta-Center or Tony did when it came to my actual life and actually helping me, right? But like I said, I'm not here to say my family didn't help me, because they did help me get in the program, but they couldn't help me in the ways that I'm being helped now, I would say. So what took place was I ended up just going all into the Meta-Center, and what it actually did for me, that actually led me to many classes and many different stuff that transpired me here today. But so going through with the experiences with Tony and stuff, I can say the classes was phenomenal, because they talked about so much stuff, and I learned so much, right? From, like I said, the first class I went to was the Armor of God. So that class, it literally, I honestly, I was hooked after that class. After that class, I was totally hooked, and I knew what all along, that small inkling that I had that there was a better route. I knew at that moment at the class that this is the better route. I knew right there at that moment, this is the better route. This is the route that And I don't want to say the route is for everybody. But as I say, there is better routes, and for me, this was that better route, and it is still that better route for me. And so going to the classes and stuff, the brother was willing to answer any questions. You had any concerns, the brother was just an open book. And I could just remember being in his presence. It was never a time where I felt like there was something hidden about his motive. You know what I'm saying? It was something hidden about what they was doing and stuff. And also, like I said, I really came into the Meta-Center because Dr. Blair, but I didn't even realize that Blair was, I never met Blair physically, but I had even started trying to like look like for Blair, because Tony had kind of like truly filled in that space, like truly filled in that space. And it was no difference. It literally was no difference from Blair to Tony. And the realness, the truth, right? Tony's a very, very blunt and direct brother, and I really appreciate him for that, because that's what we need. We need honest, we need direct and bold. We don't need somebody lying to us, pandering to us, people having false motives and having some other agenda in their mind. As long as you're like buying their products and shit, they'll seem to help you out and stuff like that, because that a lot of that is taking place in the woke or the spiritual or the conscious community. A lot of that is taking place where a lot of these cats are not genuine. A lot of these people are not fucking who they say they are, and they're not. They're criminals, they're thieves, they're liars, and they're actually working against you guys. They're actually working against you guys. Now, I'm not here to tell anybody what to do, but I am going to speak my truth, because, like, honestly, like I said, I went to some of these guys' classes, the ones I could, and just being connected to Meta-Center and honestly kind of compare, right? Because that's something we do as humans. We compare spaces and stuff, and I always could feel the difference when I would get on calls with some of these other people and stuff, how it just always made my stomach feel weird. It was always this weird feeling of like, is this something not right about it, right? Like, even when they'll be saying stuff that I was able to prove to be true, it still was like something not right about it. And at the time, I couldn't really put my hand on it, right? But now years later, I know that it was because it was more so like people talking about stuff that is true, but they're not true within themselves. People talking about truths, so that's why I was able to resonate and connect with them, but they wasn't living true for themselves. And so I kind of want to make one of the points that I always tell Tony and whatnot, because like it could have went a whole different way, right? It could have went a whole different way. And I remember just like at one point I was watching videos from all different spiritual guys and woke communities and stuff, and my whole thing was like, all I want is the truth. I just want the truth. And I remember sometimes feeling like contradiction, because some of you guys would say one thing and they appear to be doing something else, or say one thing and not even doing that what they said. So it brought a lot of contradiction to where I literally was kind of like puzzled at times when it came to who to believe and where to go. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the Meta-Center like was always there. And I also can say like when it came to the Meta-Center, when I did have questions about other entities or other groups and stuff, I can honestly say the Meta-Center never sugarcoated that either. And what I liked about it, it was never like, let's put them down to put ourselves up, but I'm gonna just ask you questions about what took place with your experience, not like something else that we can't even like really point to, but my experience with them, I was asked questions about that, and like it was kind of like he would tell me certain stuff that was going to take place or how it is, and I was able to just like see that in real time, and it was like, wow, interesting. Some things that these guys are saying is true, but these guys not true themselves. These guys not really doing things themselves. And then I started feeling like this money grab thing where it was more so about the money, right? It was about the money, and it was also about their ego and them making themselves be big or in the community, and all eyes on me type thing. But the Meta-Center never really did anything of that nature, right? And still to this day, I can vouch for them. They don't, and I don't think they ever will, because there's no point to. There's no point of doing that. There's no point of trying to a lot of people get over on people or make it all about money or anything like that. Like I said, the classes are affordable. Every herb I ever bought, everything I ever got from them was very, very affordable compared to other prices and stuff. And not only that, every time I used any products, every time I went to a class, I truly, truly got stronger. And I was able to realize that because I started realizing that I was able to speak about things that no one else knew about. And I started to be the one that people would look at to, like, having answers to stuff, having the way to go about stuff based off my experiences with the Meta-Center and stuff like that. And so yeah, the video is kind of really long. We had an hour 18 minutes. So like I said, the Meta-Center has always been there for me with the products, or even just conversations, phone calls, or the events, right? Because I ended up just staying in contact with them, and they never let me go. They never pushed me away or made me feel as if I wasn't a part of them, or could be a part of what they was willing to give to the community. As in, like I said, I went to the Armor of God class where this guy literally was telling us how to put the armor of God on in I want to say, like, in a metaphysical way that I never heard about or anything before. And everything he said was spot on. Everything he spoke about, everything that was said was spot on, to where it was like literally, it was amazing. It was truly amazing, and it is still amazing right now, today, of how these things are taking place, and how once you really come in contact with true people like the Meta-Center, your life will change. It will change, right? If you do the work. Meta-Center is not going to do the work for you. They're not going to be on top of your shoulders and try to like force you into anything. They're there, they're open, they're available, right? And I also want to point that out, because some of these groups, you can't even contact them, right? They won't respond to you, right? Because they look at you like you're not where they at, and you're not them. So it also was weird too, because it was like these same people that's talking about helping you, you also feel an energy from them that they feel like they're above you. And it was weird as fuck. And it's like, it really pissed me off. Like, bro, you're supposed to be trying to help us out. You're talking about some true shit, but why am I feeling like you above me or some shit? Or at least you're trying to put yourself above me. Why is it that? So the Meta-Center never did any such thing, right? It never made me feel like they was in competition with me, right? And that they was like, doing things to just help them. It was truly about, this is what we found out, this is what we know as facts and stuff, and you can take this on, and it will help you if you was to really put the effort and stuff like that. So that's all I was willing to do. Like I said, I just wanted to find the truth out. So I was literally experimenting with my life with anybody at that time that was willing to just try to help me out. But I'm very, very grateful, because my soul could have went into the wrong direction. And I actually seen people go into the wrong direction. And even today, I'm still witnessing people go into the wrong directions. And I can only say, I truly hope that some way, somehow, that they get back on track, right? And now that I've been with the Meta-Center for years now, traveling, doing all type of different stuff with them, I actually can look into life with a clear perspective and understanding, without, like I said, any bias or prejudice or any of that pro-black, pro-white stuff, or the white man and the Christianity and all these different things that really blocks us from seeing the true life. They help me with just removing the veil and just, hey, just look at life for what it is. And that was it. Like, don't keep trying to like make life into something that is not, but life is literally this way. And it started showing me the facts about stuff. So with that being said, my life started changing. That little spark of fire that I had inside myself, it literally started really igniting. It started growing and growing to where I started getting to know myself better, and just it was phenomenal, right? So I'm gonna kind of fast forward because the video is getting very, very extensively long. But I just never give up on the Meta-Center, and they never give up on me. I still go to the classes, still participate in things like that. And one thing I want to kind of finish off with you guys right now was, so recently I went to an event, like I just spoke about. Today is the 13th of November, 2023. So 2 days ago, I went to an event in Chicago, which is the grand open for the Meta-Center. And I went there, and once again, it was amazing to be in the presence of the Meta-Center and the family. Tony, my big brother, the Vortex. We had a really good conversation. We talked about different stuff and what's taking place. I was able to support the Meta-Center, buy some new products and stuff like that. And in that time of us just talking, and like I say, me talking to him for over years and stuff to where I'm at. And, the brother ended up talking to me, and he ended up putting me through like a little, when he analyzed my full body and told me what I needed and things like that. Just always there, supportive and helping me out. And so I went to the event. Everything was phenomenal. And so I get back home. So I went there for the 1 day, flew back the same day. I get back home, and so there's many things went within that time frame and all. So I kind of want to talk about some of the very positive things that transpired by me working with the Meta-Center. So like I told you guys, I was homeless, right? So me taking on my responsibility after the program, I did apply myself to get into college, get a job, get my own place again and things like that. And so being in connection with the Meta-Center, I was able to talk to them freely about my drug addiction and what took place and stuff. And they was able to give me honest stuff. And like the brother, like every time I talked to him, he never sugarcoated. He always just kept it real with me. And he'll tell me like straight up. Like one day we had a conversation, and this is going to be a bit deep for some of you guys. Some of you guys, I know you guys couldn't handle it, but the brother knew I could handle it. He literally asked me, he's like, yeah, so you told me you just smoke weed and Molly, but you don't do heroin? You don't do crack? And I was like, nah. Like, in a little bit, I was like, damn, the brother gonna ask me that shit after I just told him I don't do that? But I didn't do it, but like the brother brought to my attention of like my energy, right? My personal energy. He brought me aware of my energy, which is very, very important. And also he brought to my awareness that like real care, because he was really concerned. And he actually asked me questions that I felt like my dad supposed to have asked me. You know, because I was like kind of waiting for my dad to ask me certain questions and stuff. And he was asking those questions. He didn't give a fuck about my feelings. He you know what I'm saying? And it was never in a rude way. It was never in a rude way. Never in a way. He never opens you up without being able to help you. He never starts conversation without being able to help you. And I want to bring to your attention how important that is. A lot of these people will talk about stuff and open you up, and they can't help you. And then you'll just be open for attacks, and you'll begin your ass attacked by them, right? Some of these people, they open you up and they be attacking you. I'm not going to say specific names and stuff because I don't want to shun anybody and talk down on anybody like that. But I do want to tell the community at large, stay safe. It is a dog-eat-dog world. It is a crazy fucking world out here. You cannot fucking put your life, soul's trust in anybody. Just because these people sound like they know more than the average person, they do. They do. They did read books. They did study shit. But for the most part, their internal being is corrupt, and they want to corrupt as many people as possible. I want to make that very fucking clear to you guys. Some of you guys are, you know what I'm talking about. Some of you guys know who I'm talking about. And that's really on you and your soul and your connection to source and what you're going to do about it. But I know for me, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I only watch their videos maybe once a month for just purposes of seeing them still pull people into their web and not help them out truly, right? And I kind of want to go back into time and bring you back to now also, because at the time I didn't really know what real help was and how it actually play out into life, and was there actually a real thing of actually getting real help. So there is real help, folks. You actually could freaking help yourself. And I'm a testimony of that, because I have been getting help and I actually helping myself. And so some of the positive things that took place and kind of things, well, I don't even want to say positive, but just the things that took place over that time, I learned so much more about myself, who I am. I became a better father. I became more responsible and taking on my responsibilities. I've had several conversations with Tony about stuff. And like I said, the brother's kind of so upfront and direct. I remember talking to him one day, and I was talking to him about like not really wanting to work and trying to kind of want to just cheat life. And the brother was like, no, you need to take on your responsibility, and you need to, it's a duty, and you need to take it on and understand that that's how life works, right? He brought the hard truths to me and understanding how to accept life for what it is, instead of me being told by these other guys, oh, just do this and do that, and things will get better, and this and that. And actually, man, things will not get better, right? Things will not get better. Like I said, a lot of these guys will open up your third eye, or try to open your third eye, open you up, right? Because not everything they say is absolutely completely wrong. Like I said, a lot of these guys, they're so deep into the knowledge, but it's just corrupted that they actually do know certain things that could help you, but they don't want to really help you. They don't. So I'm not in denial. That's why I'm saying it that way, because they don't. They really want your soul. They really want your soul, because they know that they're losing their self. They're losing their soul. And even fast forwarding to now, a lot of these guys are dead, in jail, or you just can't find them. And it played out to where the test of time, it showed what really was going on. These people was fucking demonic liars and shit like that, right? It was false entities, false prophets, and all the above. So the Meta-Center never did anything like that. They always helped out genuinely, and not just myself, other people. I've seen other people that have gotten so much help and changed their lives from not having jobs, not taking on responsibilities, not knowing which way to go, also being people pleasers, letting the world walk over you, not controlling your mind, and understand that your mind is the reason you're in the places that you're in. And if you don't fix and change your mind and understand how your mind works, you can't go to a better space or anything new. Like they were, their Meta-Center is and was a family that truly brought me into that awareness about how the conscious and subconscious mind work into correlation to myself and the world around me and things like that. So it truly helped me out to where, like right now, I have been able to really stand my own ground and just become stronger within my own vortex, in my own essence, and understand who I am as an individual, as a male in this lifetime. And like I said, there's many conversations that we had in person, over the phone. They've always been available, even through email, right? Some of you guys probably like, I don't want to talk on the phone. You shy or whatever. Even through email, these guys, they're available. And not just like, oh, well, you're going to write them and they might get back to you in a week and stuff like that. No, I'm talking about fast response time, always there, just literally a phone call away, and just willing to really help you out. And they are the only group that actually has experiments in real time that you can partake in and that would really help you out, and that's really doing stuff to help the community out. A lot of these cats, like I said, I ain't gonna mention any names, but some are doing events in the communities, and for the most part, most are not, because they don't want to meet you. They really don't want to meet you. They don't want you to know who they really are, and for you to come into their presence, because if you actually came into their presence, you wouldn't feel shit. You would know that they don't really know shit either. You know what I'm saying? They probably just read more books than you, but they don't really know shit either. And that's not the same for, you know, the Meta-Center in their presence, because when you come in the presence of the brother Tony, you can really feel a balanced presence, a presence of a whole person, a presence of genuineness, right? Like I said, it's never been about the money. It's never been about, oh, go buy my products. It's never been about give us your energy and things like that. It's never been about that. It's always been about a equal exchange. Now, that's very important. That's very, very important. That equal exchange is very important. And a lot of times, these other groups is not an equal exchange. They're not. It's never going to be equal. They're literally trying to take more from you, and some of you guys don't even have anything to give, and they don't care. They still want that little bit that you do got to give. And those who already suck dry, they're gonna treat you like shit because they can see you don't have anything to give them. And some of you guys probably wonder why you can't come in contact with them and stuff like that, because they know you ain't got nothing to give them. Like you probably already so depleted and dry that they don't want anything from you. They want to get those fresh souls that they can manipulate and take advantage of and things like that. So like I said, the Meta-Center had never been on any of that BS, and down to any of the classes I went to, because now at this point I went to I've been to Chicago 10 times since then. And every time, I swear to you, every time I leave Florida and go to Chicago, I come back stronger. I don't care if it's 5%, 3%, or 10 or 20%. Each time I come back to Florida, I come back stronger. And every time I went to a class and the brother talked about things that we should observe within ourselves, whether it was our diet, whether it was people and how they're responding, everything this brother said was on point. Everything he said was on point. And not one time I felt as if it was some type of reason why he was on point and it was connected to some evil. I never felt that way. I never felt that way. And I know why. Because they never took any shortcuts into them getting to where they at today. And that's why it's such a powerful business, such a powerful organization, such a powerful people at large. Because they never took shortcuts and they never made it about, let's just try to get the community to pour into us and knowing that we can't pour into them. They never did that. They never, ever did that. Hey, excuse me for a second. Very important phone call. So I went to the phone call, but I had to cancel it out anyways. So because this is more important, right? Whatever that phone call was, I'm not even gonna let it distract me. This is more important. That phone call gotta wait, right? So because like I'm really getting somewhere with this. Like so where was I? I never felt any connection to any evil when it came to that or any corruption that was there to just take advantage of you in any kind of way. Like I said, every time I went to any events, every time I had a conversation with any of them, it always empowered me in some kind of way. Their books, their lectures, their products, it always was genuine, and it came from a safe space where I don't have to question it, and I don't question it in any way, right? So yeah, when it came down to me truly being able to help myself, I've been able to do that, right? Because like these guys talk about real stuff. They have, like I said, when it came to the classes with the armor of God, I'm not going to go into details about what we talked about. You had to be in that class to know. But when I say everything, not just some things, but everything that we spoke about in that class, I was able to see it in real time as soon as I left that class. As soon as I left that class, I got a better lenses, a better filter, a better perception that I ever had in my life about what was going on with life and how things truly are. And this is what you need to accept in order to actually know who you are and what you're supposed to be doing and what's not supposed to be going on, right? Because a lot of this BS is not supposed to be going on, and a lot of us don't even know, or some of us who do know, we don't talk about it. We're afraid to talk about it. Our community is so soft and weak, and the leaders are not leaders. They're not leading anybody. They have not been led themselves by any true forces or just nothing true. Nothing true. And I got a problem with that because that's the reason why we are in a lot of chaos in this world today, because a lot of people just want to like make themselves be something, but it ain't really the truth. It ain't really helping people out. And like I said, I want to keep bringing this up to you guys where I kept meditating and praying and telling myself all I really care about is the truth. That's what I really want to get to, the truth. Let's get down to the truth. The truth will set you free. And now I can say that. Now I'm gonna say the truth will not set you free overnight. But if you do the work and you continue to put in the effort, you will feel free in the aspect of free because you're accepting your responsibility. You're accepting that you have to be the one to make decisions and choices consciously, right? That's one of the main things the Meta-Center brought to my attention, that like you have a mind and you got to think for yourself. You got to think about what it is you want to do, how you want to do it, all that shit, all of it. You got to be the one in control of your system. And if you're not in the one in control of your system, something else or somebody else will be. And that's one of the main things Blair, he's talked about. You see it and you hear it throughout his lectures. He always iterate that. And even Tony, he tells you right now, if you are not truly occupying your 24 hours, it doesn't matter who you pray to. It does not matter who you call on. You will not get more time, and you won't even get fucking helped unless you actually fucking help yourself, right? And that's the truth about it. Not sitting back praying to some entity telling you, hey man, just wait for me to come save you, and as long as you keep praying and asking for repentance, everything will just get better and I'll save you. Nah. That for me, I'm talking about me and where I'm at, right? For me, that's complete BS. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Ain't nobody saved my grandma. Ain't nobody saved nobody. I never seen that. And I actually, but like I said to you guys, I was going to the classes. I was doing the work. I was putting the full armor of God on. I was talking to the Tony the Vortex. I was still meditating. I was still saying the prayer Please, universal creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind and my spirit to receive your truth and your love now. I was still standing in the power. And I also, so I'm not going to get too deep into that, but let's just say it brought me so much closer to who I am and what I'm not as well, right? Which is also very, very important, what I'm not. Because I'm not a scammer. I'm not here to get over on anybody. I'm not here to lie to anybody. And I've always been that way. I come from a very honest family, so I've always been a very honest person. But I think now I'll be able to become even more honest in myself, more true into myself, because I realize you can think you're getting over or getting away with something, but you're actually not. You're actually not. So you're better off just trying to do the right thing the first time and be the best person you could be, because the only thing you're really doing is just causing more suffering and pain for yourself, which I can honestly say, even though I'm at the Meta-Center, I still go through trials and still go through certain stuff, but it's not the same way. And the way I operate and the way I handle things totally is not the same way. Totally. So even now, if I was to go through any situations, I don't sit there and just go to prayer like, God, please save me. God, help me get this. God, do this. God, this, da. No, I actually have power to go do something about it. And even more importantly, they put me into, they help me put myself into a space, right? Because a lot of people will try to like pull you into their spaces and stuff. No, they help me to get to my truest space. With me putting in the work, right? Like I said, it was an equal exchange. Me putting myself into a space to help myself, where I was able to get my own truths, right? Like Blair is very big on that. There is no truth until you find out what your truth is, and each individual must find that truth out for themselves. So me, Antwon Wilson, I have found out, or I'm finding more and more about my truth. And my truth is the Meta-Center. My truth is higher learning, understanding life, accepting life for what it is, putting on your armor of God, helping people, right? Because the Meta-Center, let's just talk about it. Ain't nobody even on the same level when we're talking about helping people. Now, let's argue. Because I've been through all the communities, all of them. And let's just talk about it. I know all y'all names. I went to y'all events. I showed up to everything that you guys had. I bought you guys books, and I even have conversations with other people. And so I have a real good perspective about what's going on. And we start talking about the spiritual community, the woke community, the conscious community, the subconscious community, all those names. Man, listen, ain't no community, ain't nobody doing it like the Meta-Center. And I'm not even going to sit here and say, let's argue, because I'm not going to argue with none of y'all to think about it, because it'd be stupid for me to even entertain any of y'all after I've observed this shit for half a decade now. It would be stupid to waste my time for me to even waste my time to observe y'all in that aspect, or even give y'all any attention like y'all are more than what I've already perceived. No, y'all are exactly what I perceived, because, when I thought you guys were so vast and stuff, once I really connected with the Meta-Center, I seen how shallow you guys are, and how you guys are just very, very shallow. And for the most part, some of you guys are very dark. You guys are very wicked, and you will not get my soul, and I will not be affiliated with anything of that sort. So that I must put that out there, straight up and down. So I also want to point out too, man, I grew up in a very challenging area, man. I grew up in what's called ghouls. You guys can Google that. Ghouls is so similar to goons and goblins. I grew up around goons and goblins. Like I said, my family for the most part was like middle class. My mom and dad had both good jobs. So I never struggled, never went without, but we did grow up around a lot of chaos and stuff. So for the most part, I was able to see a lot of my friends grow up and they died very young ages. You actually could know. And with the Meta-Center, I've come into the know. And that Tony, the Vortex, and Blair, they are in the know, right? far as in like what's going to take place, you guys do, real soon, we're going to do a call with the Meta-Center. And he's going to talk about globally for free, letting people know what's going to take place and what you should be prepared for 2024. And every year they do this, they're spot on. Every year they do this, I mean, they're literally spot on into what's taking place and how you should go about things and how you should protect yourself and just everything that's going on in society. They're literally there with you every step of the way, like somewhat holding your hand, like not like a child though, because I want to make this very clear. Don't think that you're just going to go to the Meta-Center and they're going to do the work for you. I do not want anybody to get that confused. I'm not telling you to do that. No, if you actually want to do the work and you actually want to come into truth and more of yourself with a genuine equal exchange of energy, the Meta-Center is the place. So yeah, like I said, from the classes to taking herbs and all kind of stuff, I've been able to put things to the test of time and see everything they've told me, everything I've taken within to my heart, and I've utilized it. It did nothing but make me a better man. It did nothing but make me a stronger man, right? I'm a better father than I ever was in my life today, without trying to force some weird indoctrination on my children and stuff like that, the way I was raised, and just truly allow them to be children. And also because of the knowledge I've learned about astrology, and with astrology, I've been able to learn more about myself and about the world around me and my children, and so much to where I'm in the know now. Very hard pill for me to swallow. And but like I said, the Meta-Center has always been there to help me out. They're still there right now. But I kind of want to point out to, kind of like wrap it up, because life do continue. But so I talked to Tony recently at the event, and in person he was there. He embraced me. We made it about the event, of course, because it was a grand opening and whatnot. And it's like I got back home safely and whatnot. And the next morning, the very, very next morning, I'm talking about like as soon as I'm an early person. So it's right before I start my day. I just finished doing my Qigong, which I also got into because of the Meta-Center. Like I said, that powerful connection with the Meta-Center, I actually found real ways to help myself out. And one of the ways to help myself out was through Qigong. And I got into that through the Meta-Center with the Master Gary Kleiman. And like I said, Master Gary Kleiman. And when I say the real deal, always come in contact with the real deal, the Meta-Center is not going to bring you on to introduce you to some other bullshit person. So with that being said, I met Master Gary Kleiman. You guys can Google him. He is a real fucking master. He really helps you out, right? He always have the same energy, and he's not sitting here talking this mumbo jumbo to you. Oh, the energy is soft, and do this, and touch that, and love, and all this stuff. All that stuff that people want to hear, right? And honestly, like, we all kind of want to hear that at times, right? Because it sounds good. It sounds really good, like love and moving the energy, and life is so beautiful, and this and that. But nah, life is not like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is beautiful the way it is without us people, humans, humanity, doing the weirdest ever, right? Life is beautiful, right? Life itself is an actual beautiful place. And I also want to point that out. I didn't adopt that idea until I came to the Meta-Center, because I was like, oh, this place is fucked up. And honestly, truly, when I got into the Meta-Center, I was truly into a space of trying to escape, right? And a lot of us, like even some of my friends, we had conversations where we literally came onto the Meta-Center somewhat to like get help, but we really was trying to escape. We really was trying to get the planet. And a lot of these guys be talking about is, astral traveling, out-of-body experiences and dreams and all this stuff. And I want to say, for the most part, a lot of these people, they don't know think about none of that space, and they literally just leading you down a direction that they are lost in themselves or don't know anything about. So be very careful of letting anybody tell you of anything about these spaces. Be very, very careful, people. So I'm grateful that I don't have to worry about that, right? Because I came in contact with the Meta-Center, and we have these esoteric, occult, metaphysical, just human talk, right? Because sometimes we get in contact with these spiritual groups where it gets to somewhere you feel like you're not even human no more, and then that's not where you want to be at. That takes you so far into some outer space type where you're not even grounded on Earth no more, and it goes play into that escapism energy where you're not accepting life, and you actually, it's just you're not taking on your responsibility or taking accountability for your mind, your thoughts, or anything you're doing, and you're just kind of like playing victim and all the above, right? And it leads to depression and anxiety and all this other stuff. But like I was saying, even coming in contact with the Meta-Center, I met the Master Gary Kleiman, who did emotional liposuction on me. Look it up. He actually helped me out with my abandonment issues. He actually helped me out with and it's also through the Meta-Center, like I said, because I would not have met Master Gary Kleiman without the Meta-Center, and I was able to get this help with my anger, my rage, my feeling abandoned and things like that, which a lot of us feel or have been brought up to feel that way. So yeah, brought me into contact about that, brought me into full awareness about that, and I was able to get help in that area to where I don't wake up, I don't go through life feeling abandoned, I don't go through feeling like I gotta try to please everybody, or feeling like I can't be loved or nobody loves me and all this crap, that we all experience. And it's sad for those who experience it and they actually not in any direction to actually come in contact with a place such as the Meta-Center to actually get help. It sucks. And I do sympathize with you guys, because truly it should be more, and I'm pretty sure there are more spaces out there. I can't honestly say where they at, but I know this place is beautiful, but I'm sure there's other spaces out there that are just as fine. Like for example, even Gary, he is a real individual, right? So we can say that there's other places outside of the Meta-Center that there is real things taking place, and Gary is one of them. But I met Gary through the Meta-Center, and that was how I actually was able to get into being a Qigong practitioner, and yeah. So, and it also leads to where I'm at today. I've been practicing Qigong for going on 3 years now. I have been able to cultivate energy. I have been able to influence my community, influence my own home, be a leader in my home, and also in my family. Those same ones that when I was getting out of Christianity and going more to like myself, learning more about myself and things of that nature, they wasn't there supporting me. They was looking at me crazy, like, no, you got to come back to this Jesus thing. This is where it's at. And they was looking at me weird, giving me weird energies and stuff. Even when I felt joy, even when I felt like I had found myself, they didn't want to accept that. And this is my family. And it's crazy how your family don't want to accept you at times. But it's like the Meta-Center never did that. It never made me feel like if I wasn't doing what they wanted me to do, I wouldn't be accepted. It never was anything like that. It was more so like, if you was being real with yourself, you will see that they actually was there to help you. They actually did what they had to do to get to that space to help people. And if you was ready, they was there. And if you wasn't ready, they still there. That's just what it was. And even if you came back a year later and you wanted to be ready now, they was there waiting for you. Some of these cats, if you don't come in when they want you to, or if you come in and you feel like you want to step out for a second, they're gonna kick you out of their groups and say you can't be a part of it, make you feel left out, and make you feel like you ain't without them and you can't without them. The Meta-Center don't do that. The Meta-Center don't make you feel like, oh, if you ain't a part of the Meta-Center, if you ain't part of our family, you ain't gonna make shit. Nah, it's never like that. They actually empower you in all the ways to go out about on your own way and do what you need to do. That's the most empowering thing that anybody can do for you. Actually give you a mind, like actually show you how your mind works and how you need to be thinking, how you need to be going about your energy and protecting your energy, right? Because a lot of times we hear this, oh, just pray for protection, just pray to God for protection and everything gonna be okay. And it's actually much, much more than that. Let's be honest, people, no, it's much, much more than that. And we need to come down to people telling us the truth. And we got a lot of elders, different communities, pastors, preachers. They just do not tell you the truth. And I've actually witnessed some of them knowing the truth and telling you lies. And then some of them just don't know themselves. So it's like the blind leading the blind type thing. And it's just very interesting. It's just very, very interesting, I would say. And so yeah, me and the brother, I got back home, me and the brother had a conversation. The conversation lasted about an hour, but what I want to point out is just the real love, the real genuine care and things like that. Because also like having a father, my father loves me. My father did everything he could do for me. Like I even told you guys, my father was never like a money hungry person. I went through a lawsuit. My daddy couldn't have gotten the money and just spent it on me. No, he waited till I turned 18 to get the money. He raised me, took care of me. Like I had a great father. And he's still here, still a great father. But it's levels to help and truth and getting help. And Tony has brought that to my attention to where some people just sit back and observe you and just see how you do and certain stuff. And they may tell you they care, and you know they may not. But for Tony and in the Meta-Center, they make sure that you know they care. The brother called me and told me straight up. He said, "Brother, I'm going to tell you straight up. I know you told me that you only been smoking weed and you've been going through withdrawals and stuff because you started smoking weed recently. But bro, it looked like you've been smoking crack." And honestly, I ain't even feel offended because of the connection I got with the brother. I was like, wow. And immediately I started thinking about my dad. I'm like, damn, I wonder if my dad felt that way. And he didn't tell me. And, you know, I'm not going to even ask him, but I feel like he do. Or he probably did, and he probably just never said it. And I want to bring it to your attention because, man, that's not how we get help, and that's not what's helping us. We actually need people to come forth and tell us, you know, sometimes even like step by step when if needed and necessary, how they're there to care for you and help you, and that you know what they see, you know, because sometimes you might not be looking at yourself in the truest way. You know, a lot of times we want to lie to ourselves, and it's so easy to lie to ourselves sometimes, right? I mean, for me, it's not so easy anymore because I done put myself in the space of accepting the truth, so I can't lie to myself anymore, right? I can't sit back and lie, and that's why Tony don't lie to me, and I don't expect him to lie to me. I don't expect anything but the truth, and I really don't care how direct it comes because that's the way it needs to come, and that's what it is, point blank, period. So the brother told me straight, he's like, bro, look like you've been doing a little bit more than that. And I was like, really? Wow. But I'm like, nah, I have not. And what I want to say is, pardon me a second. But yeah. So honestly, man, we don't need elders lying to us. We don't need people lying to us and telling us what we want to hear and things like that. And I also come to realize just most don't know. Most of the world just don't know what's really taking place, and they don't know how to put it in a way where you actually can talk about it, have healthy conversations and stuff about what's going on without you getting some type of like fear-based conversation and putting you in fear and making you feel like stuck again. You know what I'm saying? The Meta-Center never did that. They always empower you. The conversations are true. It speaks true to your heart. And so the brother talked to me straight up, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I have a father. And I'm not here to show my father, but I want to bring to you guys' attention, like, man to man, he's been more of a masculine thing in my spiritual journey than my father will ever be. because my father don't know anything about none of this stuff. And like I said, once again, I love my father. I'm not here to talk down on my father in any aspect at all. But when it comes to like the real helping stuff, he just couldn't do it. And that's fine. That's okay. And that's why I came in contact with the Meta-Center, because they can and they will. And they continue to do it. So me and the brother had a talk. And like I said, he gave me some stuff to heal my body. And he basically just told me straight up, like, bro, it's time to get that shit up. Even though he had already told me that before, he never bombarded with me and like put it to where it's like, you just, just that weird energy. Like always like tell you what it is, but put the ball in your court. And that's how it's supposed to be. He put the ball in my court to where I'm able to just say like, damn, yeah, man, I could stop this. You know what I'm saying? And let me stop now. And we had a conversation. I was talking about, yeah, man, my willpower. I got my willpower, so I'm stopping now. This and that. And the brother was like, nah, that ain't your willpower. You stopping because you're trying to get this job. You know what I'm saying? Just always keeping it real. And sometimes, no, not sometimes, all the time, we need to hear that. Some of us not ready for that. So that's why I say sometimes, but we need to hear that. And we need to hear it in that way without sugarcoating it, because, bro, we're not here to play games with our soul. We're not here to play games with our lives, bro. And for the most part, a lot of you guys are doing it, taking your life for granted. And I promise you, I will not do that ever again. And thanks to the Meta-Center, I know why I shouldn't do that. And I'm able to look around at the world with an honest standpoint and see what's really taking place and say, I'm able to accept things for what it is. For those who I grew up with or family and stuff who don't want to change, who don't want to become more healthier, who don't want to learn more about themselves, their mind, and things like that. I've learned to be able to accept those things without trying to like feel like, oh, they ain't this and they ain't that because they don't want to meditate or they ain't doing yoga and this and that. No, it ain't even about that. It's just, okay, that's what's going on. But as far as in me, I found my truth out. I found out what I need to be doing. So I'm going to constantly do that. And like I said, it has not been easy. Even me knowing better that, okay, I should be more pure and have start smoking weed. I still was smoking weed after the program. So I left the program. I had to start smoking weed. I started back smoking weed maybe like 8 months after the program. Not too long, not even a year. You could say I relapsed, right? I relapsed and I started back smoking weed and stuff. But even when I was smoking weed, I had brought myself into balance, into whole in some kind of way to where I was still able to get stronger and still move forward. Whether it's herbs and different stuff, because I did take on many classes with the Meta-Center, as far as in the herbology class, reading the herbology books, going outside and foraging herbs, farming, learning how to grow plants and seeds, all type of stuff that will just have you so prepared for life to where you just don't be in any space of fear anymore, right? And I think that's what it's really about, being able to eliminate that fear from our core being and know that it ain't really so much about good and bad, but it's so much about you and how you are on your mission and what you do, and everything matters. The brother told me on the phone, our conversation, he brought to my attention, well, this was in person, but in person, it kind of corresponds to what he was already thinking about when he was thinking he was going to call me the next day. Because me understanding how the brother works, like I said, the event was the event, so we didn't make it about me at the event. But he already took a mental note in his mind that, hey, I'm going to call Antwon and have a conversation with him about this. And the brother told me straight up, man, listen, nah, it's time to get pure. It's time to get right. And if you ain't doing something, if you ain't doing fucking crack or molly anything, then you definitely need to get pure. Because I definitely, as a person that's actually seeing life for what it is and stuff, the brother thought I was still dibbing and dabbing with certain stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I ain't getting offended or nothing, because the brothers are speaking from, a space of real genuine care, right? How we would expect our parents or elders to do. the brother's doing that. And he's not 70 years old, you know what I'm saying? But he still does that. He still speaks from a space of truth and stuff like that. So with that being said, I'm here right now, 2 days after the event, and I'm taking it one day at a time as usual, one moment at a time as usual. And what I can say is I'm going to do what I need to do, because each moment I come more in contact of my true self with the help of the Meta-Center, to where it's not like I have to totally depend on anybody or anything ever again. I can depend on myself. I can trust in myself and know that I'm good. You know what I mean? And know that I still have that support and that family that I need when it comes to tough times and stuff. Because even like right now, like I said, just because I'm in a Meta-Center and I meditate and I've learned so much different stuff, things still happen. But it's all about how I respond to them. I respond totally different to anything that's happening in my life right now. And as you guys can see, I'm here in my new home. Like, it's been maybe my 5th home since then. So much has changed since then. And one of the things I want to speak about that happened since with the Meta-Center, I got out of the program in 2018, and immediately I started building myself internally, and I started working construction, right? So, you know, Tony was like, oh, the brother's building internally and externally, where I became a commercial professional builder in the world, where I built bridges in the South Florida area, right? So I've learned so much about physically building, from using all the power tools and working with different people, different energies, and all type of different stuff. And like, still with my connection with the Meta-Center, my life has gotten to its best point ever. Like, the best point ever, to where I'm not indecisive. I'm a Gemini, first of all. I'm a Gemini. So any Geminis or any air signs in particular, me being an astrologer, we all play somewhat in that indecisive energy, because it's air. But it really plays out to like Geminis or Virgos with that Mercury planet energy, because Mercury being the thinker and the communicator, I have this indecisive energy. So I really struggle with that, and now it's still a part of me, because I'm still a Gemini, of course, right? I'm still a Gemini, but it's not indecisive how it was. I actually make decisions with sound, conscious decision, with knowing that what I'm putting my intent to and what I'm affirming with my life, it is going to happen, right? Because over the 5 years, I've been able to take on the classes and experiment with my life and seeing the changes, right? So what I want to point out was, I literally went from, like I told you guys, not wanting to take on my responsibilities, not really wanting to work, just kind of want to just go through life and escape life, and just trying to find all the soft little spots in life, and just, you know, just be there. Until like now, it's like, nah. I want to be wherever I need to be at, where my energy is most needed and necessary to be at. That's where I want to be at, and that's why I'm with the Meta-Center today. And also what took place was, I ended up getting a very good job, like I'm mentioning, where I was making over $1,000 a week, right? And you know, that was a big transition for me, as far as in like a job, because I had these other jobs where I was working small pay, $10, $11 an hour, whatever, and things of that nature. And to move up to getting paid $20, $30 an hour is a big difference. And I don't want to give all of my credit away to the Meta-Center, because, like I say, I always want to make it an equal exchange. But the Meta-Center played a major part in that, and me trusting myself. And I also want to point out to, like, a lot of these spiritual leaders, they'll start talking to you about, like, oh, the white man runs the world, quit your job, stop working your job, stop doing this, stop doing that. And also, I even got into, like, bro, I could be on here for hours, bro, about this spiritual community, bro. But I want to bring another important part up, where I got into contact with this Aboriginal type thing, this whole fugazi type thing, bro. Literally, it's a joke. But what I want to point out is, like, Tony, these guys, like with the Meta-Center, bro, it's not really nothing on earth that these guys are not aware of. That we should be aware of, right? Because it's a bunch of that, hey, is whatever. But when I'm talking about things you should be aware of like things that's consuming people's energy and that's constantly new children, new cycles of people are being caught into that web or net. Thing was one of them where I got into this organization, I work with these people, whatever, and they tell me this thing where, hey, you know that because you're black, you don't gotta pay bills, you don't gotta pay your rent, you don't need a driver's license, you don't have to register your car, there's money already in the bank for you, waiting for you. Now you found out who we are, you're gonna get this money, you don't gotta work. The white man runs the world, the white man is the devil, and you shouldn't have a job and all this crap. And I want to bring up this escapism energy as well, like I mentioned some time ago, because these guys were just talking about how they could try to escape life. It is some bullshit, because you can't really escape life, and you can't really escape nothing. So stop it. Don't think you're gonna get away from life. But yeah. So at the time, I still was like not fully balanced, still trying to like cheat life. And I'm not here today to present as if I'm like some perfect being or I'm God now and all this other BS. Some of you guys think y'all are and all this. No, but I am on the path. And like he made it very clear to me in our conversation on the phone that everybody is supposed to be scribing to some degree and magnitude and scribing to get better and do better. Right? And that's what they've always shown us at the Meta-Center. Continue to strive to do and get better. But because they was talking about not paying bills and stuff. So honestly, let's be real. I ate it up. To where really I stopped paying bills at my house. I stopped paying my bills at my house. And ended up having all kind of problems, of course. You can imagine the problems I was having. I couldn't sleep right because, of course, I was trying to like get over on life, right? Trying to like find some way to snip through life. And the brother had told me straight up, like, nah, that's BS. Nah, that ain't what it is. But also at the same time, he did explain to me how some of the stuff did have some truth to it, but for the most part, that organization itself was straight BS. And they was, and they still are. They still are to this day. I even did a video about them because I felt like it was needed for me to just like give that energy back to them. How they had me like not paying my rent, and I was going through an eviction, going through like right. And at the time, I still was kind of puzzled because I was taking more on the Meta-Center stuff, but we still here in life, we still in flesh. So we still have these fleshly urges and desires and stuff where I still wanted to, escape and try to like have my cake and eat it too without taking on my responsibility and taking accountability or even doing any work on myself, right? Any internal work and seeing why is it I'm trying to get over on life? Why am I putting myself into suffering positions and all type of different stuff that I had to really ask myself these questions. And I'm still asking myself these questions today, right? I haven't fully, figured it out. I'm on a journey and I accept that. And that's cool with me. And that's my journey. But the people was like misleading me to go do all type of stuff until where even Tony was preparing me, or Tony, he brought to my attention like, yeah, don't do that. It's not the real thing or whatnot. And, I still was like trying to like do it behind the scenes, not really telling Tony what I was doing. But thank God things played out to where the pandemic or pandemic, whatever you want to call it, happened. And make a long story short, they ended up paying the rent for me. But all in all, I learned my lesson into like, because it built up so much anxiety and stress, and it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel true to try to like get over and do those type of things that way, right? That way, because there is always a better way to do stuff, but that's not the way. Not trying to get over on the government, and because you ain't gonna get over on them. They're gonna catch you. They're gonna evict you from your house. they're going to repo your car, or you're going to go to jail. And I experienced people going to jail, people losing their houses, community right around the world saying you don't got to have a driver's license and all this different stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's straight up BS. It's straight up BS. So, yeah, I said it. And like I said, Tony, he's always been there through everything I've been through. And even today, like I said, the brother still come with these harsh conversations. So right now, I'm still moving forward my journey. And I'm sobering up. I'm still doing what I want to do with my business and still connect with the Meta-Center. And yeah, so even like right now, just being honest, things have got much better, I would say, with my finances and my jobs, because I ended up doing construction for 3 years. And within those 3 years, I literally was able to travel wherever. I always had the money. I had no problems with eviction or even thinking about eviction, because like I said, I was making well over $1,000 every week. So things was kind of getting very, very good for me. My children wasn't wanting for anything, and that makes a father feels very good. And that's what it's about. It's just something mostly about just being a human and being a person, and just being here, right? Yeah, we still got to be metaphysical and understand these things, but most importantly, we still got to be here and on earth in the present moment and live through now. We can't get around that. So I want to say that the Meta-Center helped me to, and they still help me to accept that and live in the now and be that, be a part of the now. And, you know, I also want to point out to where like that conversation we had, the brother told me straight up, and it was so aligned with life as usual. Yeah, like, you know, you got to tighten up. You got to do better. And he asked me this question too about my job. He was like, hey, so do you think you should have went back into work with construction? And, you know, I was a little bit in denial, because I was like, you know, we never really want to be wrong. We want to make it seem like even though things change, we still making the best of it. But he brought to my attention this, honestly, it was a better decision, right? Because this is what it's about. It's about making those sound decisions, and your life depends on it. Right? Because sometimes we can make decisions and we don't come back from them. Right? And I was able to see that by going through a drug addiction. I've seen many guys, by one decision they made, they will not come back from, because they're dead or they just went too far and it's over with. And thank God, thank for myself and the Meta-Center and all the energies and forces that's on the positive, that's here to elevate this the world and humanity. I have been in contact with those energies, and I have been able to get help. And it's been phenomenal. It's been true. It's been genuine help. And that's what we need. Not someone just watching us from afar saying that it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay, but actually helping us and actually in connection with the community, far as in the projects, in the communication, and creating a phone line and an open space for the community to talk about different stuff. From, like I said, from different projects to HIV conversations, to even when we had the pandemic, they was there. They was there. When you seen churches being shut down and the whole world being shut down and going crazy, the Meta-Center was there. And honestly, we traveled the world during the pandemic. It was the best time to travel. It was so beautiful. The world was empty. We had the world to ourselves. We went to some beautiful places. We traveled the world, and we actually was observing what was going on with people in real time, how we had been planned on, right? They also pointed that out to where things was a plan, and without saying it though, right? Without like saying it in a way to where you know what I'm saying? Just step by step as things was going on, they was preparing you to the stages that was taking place, in every prediction, everything they spoke about and they said that was going to happen and take place. Those things truly happened, and it truly took place. And when I say it was amazing to see that, it was amazing to see those things take place and how it went. So I'm very grateful for the Meta-Center. I will always and forever be grateful for them. and it's been real good. It's been life changing, and like I said, I'm forever on my journey. And that's also one thing I've got to where I've been able to accept the journey. I've been able to accept my path. Been able to accept who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing. And yeah, that's the most powerful thing that has been taking place. I'm very grateful for the Meta-Center, and it's so much more I could talk about, but there it is. I love you guys. Stay safe, stay protected. Join the classes. Take on the free consultations that he's giving. Go watch the videos. Like, he did so many amazing programs, and we was able to see in real time the brother creativity is magnificent when it comes to creating things for the community and stuff like that, projects that you would love to be a part of, and without trying to steal other people's ideas and stuff, we was able to see others utilize the Meta-Center ideas and not give credit, right? And we was able to see that, and it's like, dang, so the Meta-Center is true and light. They have a real light that you can go to, and other people, they will go steal from anywhere they can and try to share information, you know, whatever. So it's been a real journey, I would say. Yes, real journey. I'm thankful and grateful. And like I said, when it comes down to the books, right? I bought all these books. I read these books. I've you know, they're here. I talk to my children about these books, right? Everything from the Meta-Center, I literally have been able to like take into heart, and it is really that. And like I said, according to the test of time, I've also been able to correspond to people that's fake, and the Meta-Center is not one of them. The Meta-Center is the real deal, and there's a lot of fake groups out there all over the world that just want to take you through a ride, and it's not true, it's not genuine. So be very careful out there. Even like right now, we have the they went and got a space in Chicago, right, where you can go, and they have the sound bath healing. The brother did a meditation for me, and so based off the conversation that we had when I went there on 11/11, when we talked in person, the brother immediately gave me some things to do. Well, he told me to lay on down, and he did some sound bowl meditation for all of us who was there, and me specifically, based on our conversation. He put that sound bowl right on my heart chakra, so I can be able to tap into my heart space again, vibrate my heart space, activate it, and also to be able to come here and do this video to be able to just give back for myself. To it's also very healing for me as well to talk about, because I was able to see the spaces that I transitioned to where I'm at now.